This video will demonstrate the femur routine procedures, namely AP femur and lateral or mediolateral femur. First, as we're going to demonstrate the AP femur. The cassette that we're going to use is 10 by 43 cm or 8 by 17 inches or 35 by 43 cm or 14 by 17 inches. This procedure utilizes grid since the patient tissue thickness is greater than 10 cm. The radiologic pathologist must bear in mind that the hip at the cathode end so that utilizing the anode heel effect. Note that for adults, a second smaller IR of either the hip or knee should be taken on trauma patients to demonstrate both the knee and hip joints to rule out possible fractures. So in patient positioning, position the patient in a supine with toes up, then adjust the pelvis to the place of access so that the access must be equidistant from the table. So in part positioning, center the affected femur to midline of the grid and image the distal femur by placing bottom of the IR 2 inches or 5 cm below the knee joint. Then the next one is the central ray must be perpendicular to the mid femur and center of the IR. First, we need to go for the distal at the proximal femur. Then always put a shield on the patient's gonad. Collimate it. And to include his in AP femur, wherein we radiograph or we image the distal femur, we need to cover down, including that one. So first is, since we want to utilize his femur only, then the SID that we're going to use is 40 to 44 inches or 102 to 130 centimeters. So in collimation, 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters on sides of the shadow of the thigh and 17 inches or 43 centimeters in length. Place side marker to the collimated exposure field. Perfect. The next procedure that we're going to demonstrate is the lateral or mediolateral femur. The cassette that we were going to use is 18 by 43 centimeters or 8 by 17 inches or 35 by 43 centimeters or 14 by 17 inches. Then always remember that the orientation of the cassette must be in a lengthwise. Then again, we're going to use a grid for this one. So this is then always remember that the hip must be at the cathode end so that we are utilizing the anode heel effect. In patient positioning, the patient must be in a lateral recumbent with an affected leg placed behind to prevent over-rotation, then part position. Then centered, in part positioning, center the affected femur to the midline of the grid, then image the distal femur by drawing the uppermost extremity forward and supporting it at the hip level. So this position is imaging the lateral distal femur. So adjust the femur so that the epicondyles are perpendicular to the tabletop. Then place bottom of the IR 2 inches or 5 centimeters below the knee joint. Then always remember to apply the gonadal shielding. This position will go to demonstrate the lateral distal femur. So the next position is to demonstrate the proximal, to demonstrate the, this position will demonstrate the lateral distal femur. So the next position that we're going to demonstrate, we're going to demonstrate the lateral proximal femur. Again. This will include the hip included. So, for this projection of the proximal femur, place the top of the IR at the level of the axis, then draw the upper limb posteriorly and support it. Then adjust the pelvis so that it is rolled posteriorly just enough to prevent superimposition. So the 10 to 15 degrees from the lateral position is enough. And collimate it. That one. So the central ray must be positioned at the mid of the midline of, the central ray must be perpendicular to the mid-femur and center to the IR. The SID that we're going to use is 40 to 44 inches or 102 to 113 centimeter. So in collimation, 1 inch, 2.5 centimeter on the sides of the shadow of the thigh and 17 inches on the 43 centimeter in length. Then place side marker in the collimated exposure field. Then collimate it. So again, this position will demonstrate the lateral proximal femur, and the other one is, and this position will demonstrate the lateral distal femur. Perfect.